My dear brother, only 2 days have passed since you left our priory. Much has happened in these 2 days. Many desperate men, women, and children have found refuge here. The Earl of Shiring was arrested. His castle taken by my bishop's allies. The people that we shelter were driven from that castle. Francis, I know this was not your fault, but I, myself, cannot but feel responsible for their fate. A couple has come to seek shelter at our priory. Remigius tells me the woman is a witch. Even if that is not true, they seem to live in sin. Remigius said to expel them for their act against God, but I decided against it. They might speak their vows as soon as opportunity is offered. Milius and Cuthbert have taken it upon themselves to feed the baby. They called it Jonathan, the gift of God. Johnny Eightpence was right. He loves goat milk. A gift of God. And yet someone gave up on him. I will not give up on him, or on anyone else. Not on us either, brother, even if the hope for my own redemption is as small and frail as Jonathan is. I pray that this letter finds you in good health. In consideration of my own, I ask that you not talk about our parents again. One must let these things rest. I've made my peace and won't hear any more of it. I heard from you that only 3 in Earl Robert's employ can read. One of them is my brother. Your brother, Philip.
No! Get out of there!
What? What is that?
My God! Save yourselves! The Saint! We must save the Saint! Fire! The whole roof is in flames!
My God!
Don't go in there! Adolphus! The Saint! We must save him! No! Don't go!
While the monks and refugees cleaned up, I kept hidden. I hadn't expected that a magnificent building like this could so utterly collapse. That the ignorant little boy that I had been could so easily turn it back into a pile of dirty stones. I knew then that I had done something wrong, and no one could ever find out.
Prior Philip, I had the site cleared. It should be safe now.
Good work. Thank you, Master Builder. This concludes a very long night, then.
Many people left already. They asked me to thank you for your kindness. They're sorry for what happened.
Well, they should thank God for his mercy. No one got hurt, no one died. 45 monks and 11 novices, all accounted for. No one's missing.
No one?
Milius and Cuthbert even saved our saint from the crypt.
Do you know what caused this?
It's God's punishment.
Or maybe not. Oh, no one got hurt. The books were saved. Even the bones of your saint were unharmed. Maybe this happened for a reason.
What do you mean?
Here. Let me show you something. Tell me, what do you see?
I see dawn.
Right. Prior, I am deeply sorry about what happened to your church, but you must remain steadfast.
And stare at the sunrise?
No, you're only seeing the sunrise because you're facing east, straight east, like a church. Now, I know you have no money, and that helping people is more important, but we could start right here. Take the stones we've got, and the people who want to help.
So, what is it I am looking at, Tom Builder?
It's the aisle of your new cathedral.
I see it. I see now. A few weeks later, I received an invitation from Bishop Waleran. In Winchester, we and Waleran's allies were to meet King Stephen himself. The bishop seemed assured that because we had helped the king, Stephen would support us in return. And that with his help, we would be able to rebuild Kingsbridge Cathedral.
Percy Hamley.
Bishop Waleran. Good morning. Ali! It's them! Over there! The Hamleys!
Again, thank you for your assistance in Kingsbridge, my son.
We have to thank you. Without you, we wouldn't be here today. Right, Mother?
Of course.
Well, don't just stand there. Walk out with me, but very calmly. We can't let them see us.
Oh, children, pardon me.
Now we're only missing one more.
Here he is.
Good morning.
Bishop Henry, this is my prior.
Philip of Gwynedd, Prior of Kingsbridge, my Lord Bishop.
You won't have to say much today, Philip.
Leave the talking to us.
No, leave the talking to me. King Stephen is my brother, after all. Let us make haste. My brother is an early riser.
We must make haste. I want to go hunting in the New Forest. England is full of game. No comparison to Normandy. This country's still wild.
This is Waleran Bygod, the Bishop of Kingsbridge.
Waleran, I remember you. We've met before.
And Percy Hamley.
My king.
He brought Bartholomew to justice. And it's not the first time he's helped me. He has Norman blood in him. We should hunt together someday.
Indeed, sire.
Bartholomew, on the other hand, will not leave the jail alive.
Percy Hamley did not do it without help, my lord. It was I who told him of the plot against you.
And now you come to be rewarded as well. I see.
My brother, the Cathedral of Kingsbridge has burnt down. Waleran asks for a reward, not for himself. He asks for our church.
I take it your church cannot afford to rebuild that cathedral, Henry. Neither can the crown.
I, or rather Bishop Waleran, had an idea. You could give the Earl of Shiring's lands to the Bishop of Kingsbridge to finance the rebuilding of the cathedral.
I like the idea. But Percy and his men were the ones who took Owl's Castle, not Bishop Waleran. Right, Percy?
Yes, my king.
He knows the area, and he will be a loyal Earl, will you not?
Of course, my king.
You ought to give thanks to God first. God made you king.
Don't go on like that, Henry. Don't do that. You know what happens when you do that. It was a long way to this throne. A long way.
Yes, my brother.
Now I will hunt.
My Lord King, I thank you for being willing to reconsider the future of the Shiring Earldom.
When shall we hear your decision?
Tomorrow. Bring my bow. Tell the men we hunt.
Philip, Waleran and I have much to discuss.
All right. But what can I do to help?
Well, my brother asked me to get a confession from the traitor Bartholomew. A confession would be helpful against those who believe Bartholomew's arrest was unjust, and it may help us to convince my brother to forget all about his promise to Percy Hamley.
How could you let her get away? That little bitch.
I will find her, Mother. She was here? Why?
To see her father, of course. But that won't help her. She has already made a fool of you once. Don't let it happen again.
No, Mother.
Bishop Henry sends me.
The bishop, eh? What does he want?
He wants me to talk to Bartholomew of Shiring.
Bartholomew of Shiring? Ha! It's only Bartholomew now. It's his 4th day without bread. Soon he won't even be Bartholomew anymore.
Bartholomew, I am Brother Philip. We have never met, but I am responsible for your fate.
No one ever chose my fate for me. I choose my fate.
Why did you go against the king?
Stephen sent you. Why would you side with the usurper?
If you talk, they might bring you food.
You are not the first to offer me that. Why should I confess to you?
Your people found refuge in my priory. Your confession will help me to give them work and shelter.
I have no sins to confess. My only regret is that I failed.
I will not tell the king that. They will kill you.
They have already done that. Monk, tell them that I confessed.
To what?
All of it. Treason.
But...
The son shall not suffer for the iniquity of the father. Tell Stephen that as well.
You know the scripture?
Richard and Aliena, my children, they must live.
And a good day to you too, Father.
Monk, it's about time you showed up.
Huh? Regan Hamley? We have not been formally introduced.
You are a fool. Is that formal enough for you, Monk? You don't understand any of this, do you? It's as if you've never set a single foot outside your little priory. Unbelievable.
How can I help you, Lady Hamley?
How you let yourself be used by those two greedy bishops, I'll never know. Ugh. Waleran wants the lands of the earldom for himself. Henry knows that. Say something. You don't believe me, do you, Monk?
You are only worrying about your husband's land.
Well, of course I am, and you should be too. If Waleran wins, we both lose. I know you don't trust me, but your bishops are no different from me. You are at a crossroads. It is your choice.
Do you have a way to prove any of this?
Ride with my son, William. Just a few hours. I will prove to you that Waleran will betray you.
All right. I will ride with your son, if only to prove you wrong.
Very well. Maybe you're not a fool, after all. But do not let the bishops see you. William?
What?
Ride with Father Philip. Do as I said.
William Hamley declined to tell me where we were heading. He enjoyed keeping me in the dark and forcing me to follow his lead. Sometimes he sped ahead on his warhorse, and it took me some effort to catch up. But sooner or later he would stop and wait, sneering as I rejoined him. On one occasion he stood there urinating against a rock. When I caught up with him, he turned without covering himself. He found my shock at his shameful behavior comical. He laughed, got back into the saddle, spurred his horse and rode off. Again I followed, hoping this journey had not been another horrible mistake. Near a bridge, I found William with a group of washerwomen. He was shouting at them. When I arrived, I could only hear their replies. They said that they had not seen a girl or a boy fitting his description. A younger, blonde woman said that even if she had seen the girl, she would not tell him. Apparently, she had heard of William Hamley. William grabbed the startled-looking woman by the arm. He shoved his right hand under her skirt. She started crying. The other women asked William to stop, but were afraid to anger him. William turned and grinned when he saw me approaching. When he heard my words, William's grin faded. He pushed the young woman away. The other women looked at me in a strange way. They must have asked themselves why a monk would ride with such a man as William. We rode off, and William stared at me full of spite. I told him I pitied him. I did not tell him why, because I had no words for it. We did not talk after that. Not for a long time. William talked to more strangers along the way. First, I believed he was asking for directions. Then I realized that money was changing hands. William was paying these people for information. I was glad that for now he had lost interest in hurting others. Then I saw an old woman pointing William to a bearded man on a horse. William called the man a horse thief. Then he grinned and signaled the puzzled man to get on his horse and ride with him. They rode faster and faster, and I could not hear what more they talked about. William bluntly threatened to have the man hanged for stealing a horse of his, and then ordered him to hunt down the real thieves in exchange for his life. The man laughed as if he had made a great bargain. William even paid him. Before the man rode off north, William mentioned a name. Aliena. And I prayed that whatever William's plan was, that it would fail. Then William waved at me to ride faster. I reckoned we had to be close to where Lady Hamley wanted us to go. Not long after, my stomach turned as I realized just where exactly we were bound.